All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about half guard passing. Gi or no gi, even MMA, even like self-defense, half guard is probably the best way to pass someone's guard. It's the safest, it's effective against anyone, and the best part about it is that once you pass somebody, you don't have to swap and start controlling their head and shoulders. You already have their head and shoulders. So let's talk about what that is. So it's called the cranial shift. Okay, so Wissam's on his back. So with like a toreando or loose passing, okay, so I'm here, I'm walking around. Once I actually get past his legs, I have a whole nother battle here of controlling his head and shoulders. As you can see, he's already like turning away here. Okay, he wants to try and deny that to me. So I would have to like come down, get an underhook, get a crossface, and now I have side control. So pretty much with any style of guard passing, outside of half guard passing, you have to make that cranial shift of where you're controlling the hips to then controlling the head and shoulders. And that's like one of the hardest parts about passing, to be honest. So often you see people pass, they get an advantage, but they can't control the head and shoulders, people escape and they lose everything they worked for. So the benefit of half guard passing is you can actually set up your control before you pass. And then when you do pass, you already have your crossface and underhook, right? So let's go from A to Z rather. So how do we actually set up half guard, keep it, and keep moving forward? So I have a seated opponent in front of me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start slowly walking around him in a staggered stance. If you guys can see that, just come around a little bit. Every time I take a step, he has to take a step too. And there's a little opening there, all right? So what I'm going to do, if you come behind me, just so people can see, I'm going to take a step out. As he follows me, I step in, my right hand and forearm goes to his hip, my left hand grabs his knee, and I'm gonna like slide around right into half guard like this, okay? So both my knees are pinching at his hip, okay? I don't wanna be out here because then he can take his leg out and I'm not in half guard anymore, right? So I get here, I keep my hand on his hip to deny the knee shield. If he gets the knee shield in, that's a problem. So I keep down here, all right? And now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna drop my elbow, okay, down and I block his hip. So now he can't get his knee back in at all. And at the same time, I'm gonna start to crash my head down to his far shoulder, all right? And now from here with my left hand, if it's good, he's gonna try and block the crossface. So he's gonna grab my bicep. And like a little bit over the top, kind of like this. This is what somebody good will do. So from here, I can't get a crossface. So what I will do, I will basically try to pummel high. I'm gonna take my hand high, and then as he goes high, I'm just gonna come inside, grab his head, okay? And now from here, I'm gonna sit out a little bit. And he's going to give me a battle here, getting the underhook. So he's gonna block my face, all right? What I want to do is I just wanna connect my fingers like this. And now I'm in my staging position, all right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to flare my elbow, bring my head underneath, okay? And I have an underhook, just like this. All right, now, Paul, if you come around that way. So I wanna talk about the fundamental passing position, all right, from half guard. If you guys can see, my knee, okay, is at his hip. This is to prevent him elbow escaping. So if he does an elbow escape, okay, I can follow him with this. If this isn't there and he elbow escapes, okay, I've lost half guard. Second thing, my foot is out at 90 degrees like this, okay? If my foot's lazy here and he bridges, he'll knock me over, all right? But if I have my foot at 90 degrees, my toes on the floor and they're active and he bridges, I can use that to push back into him, all right? Third thing, if you come around this way, my knee is not on the floor, okay? From half guard, somebody can hit a knee lever where they clamp my knee, put their legs on the floor and tip me that way. No, just put your legs on the floor and tip me that way. Yes, exactly. So to prevent that, okay, what I want to do is, he's got his legs locked obviously, is I want to keep my knee off the floor. If my knee is on the floor like this, he's gonna have a way stronger knee lever. So I keep it off the ground like that, okay? And now from here, I'm ready to start passing. So I always wanna make sure that I set up, knee off the ground, knee at the hip, foot on the ground, okay? And from there, I'm ready to start passing. If he gets this back in at any point, no problem. I just go 10-finger grip, lift, come underneath, and I get my crossface, my underhook, sorry. So once I'm ready to start passing, I'm gonna connect my hands. I'm gonna bring my head nice and low. And there's two directions you can go. You can go far side or near side, the best method to learn to start with, in my opinion, is to walk near side. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna lock my hands, okay, making sure my shoulder is in his chin, all right, and I'm just reducing the distance between my shoulder and my hand. That's what makes a crossface truly tight. And I'm also getting my head low so he can't bring his hand back in. And now from here, I'm gonna tripod a little bit. I'm gonna start walking near side, walking until his knees are facing the floor. Okay, if they're up in the roof, it's gonna be a little bit harder. So I walk until they're facing the floor. And now from here, it's super simple. He's gonna be clamping tight here with his legs. Okay. Shake and push until my knee touches the floor. And now he's going to be locking really tight here. Okay. I push my foot back a little bit. Okay. And I use my foot to start kicking out. And now from here, I walk his hips across and I come up. And look, I've made the cranial shift already. I have crossface and underhook in side control. I'm ready to keep working. So that's the real benefit of half guard passing. In my opinion, that's one of the best ways to start. Now let's look at a second way, walking to far side. So coming back. So I've gone into half guard. Okay, I've done my work. I've got my crossface. I've got my underhook. Okay, instead of walking that way, we're gonna start walking far side. So I get my head down nice and low. With this, I don't necessarily need the underhook. I'm gonna bring my hand out to prevent any off balances from the knee level. So I get my head nice and low and I start walking. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. He's gonna be pinching tight here. Lock your legs, lock my knee. All right, so what I wanna do, head to the ground, and I wanna use an inverted grip. I don't wanna grab like this because he can come behind and grab my bicep with his right hand. Underneath. Yes, okay, and that's quite embarrassing, you know? I don't wanna be naive like this. First, so if I do the thumb up grip like this, it kind of blocks that space, okay? So I keep it blocked, okay? I push and I extract my knee. Now from here, he's got two options. He will either let go of his hand and push my knee, okay, back in which case I can get an underhook, all right? And then now I can keep this nice and tight, and I feel like from this position, if he's locked, okay, I can actually bring my knee up and use my elbow to free my leg, all right? Now, if he, for whatever reason, doesn't use his hand and he just like stays tight like this and I can't get an underhook, so keep your hand here like that, okay? So what I'm gonna do in this position, I'm gonna come up high, all right? I'm going to pinch, okay? If you come around behind me, okay? I'm gonna pinch his butt with my knee, okay? And now it makes it difficult for him to start to bump me off here. And if I can kind of like use my foot even to push his feet, all right? And here is quite stuck. So now I'm gonna take an opposite crossface. I was cross-facing here. I'm gonna take my right hand and I'm gonna cross-face him this way, okay? And now there's some opposing pressure between his head and his knees, the direction of his knees. So it's very uncomfortable and it's very easy for me, okay, to expose, peel, and get straight to mount, all right? So once again, just from the 3/4 mount, from this position, if he doesn't push and does nothing, I come up and I swap my crossface. If he does push, okay, I get my underhook, all right? I bring it high, I use my elbow to come out to 3/4, and now from here, I'm gonna walk across and right in the position that we were before, okay? And I kick, and I get free, all right? So one thing you guys should have observed there is once you're in any 3/4 position, it's easy to transition it into another 3/4 position. So the 3/4 side sit out where we finish the knee cut, once you get to 3/4 mount, it's easy to go and easily swap to that spot, okay? So it's very variable, and this style of half guard passing, even just with those two variations, you're gonna pass a lot of people's guards, okay? The key is a tight crossface, a tight underhook, and just taking your time and making sure that if ever you get set back, go straight to the FSP, the fundamental starting position, and then start working from there, near side or far side. If you guys enjoyed that video, please subscribe for more. Thank you.